When you change the way you look at things, the things you are looking at begin to transform. Not because the world itself suddenly rearranges, but because your eyes, your heart, your mind are suddenly awake to new possibilities. Think about it. How many times have you walked past a tree, so familiar, so ordinary, that you never truly saw it? But then one day something shifts. A storm breaks, the sun strikes just right. And suddenly that same tree is a fortress of resilience. Its branches a canopy of hope for anyone willing to pause and notice. It's the same with pain, with struggle, with failure. When you look at your wounds as wounds alone, they sting, they hurt, they remind you of loss. But when you change your gaze and see those wounds as chapters, as evidence of battles fought and lessons learned, they begin to tell a story of survival, not defeat. When you change the way you look at fear, it no longer chains you to doubt or silence. It becomes a signal, a challenge, a spark that lights the fire to rise higher, reach farther, become braver. The things you're looking at, your experiences, your history, your own reflection, do not change on their own. The burden on your shoulders might still weigh heavy. The scars may remain visible. The voices of doubt might still echo. But your perception, the way you choose to see, to interpret, to believe, can shift the entire landscape. Look again at the mistakes you made, not as failures etched in stone, but as stepping stones. Each one a lesson dressed in disguise, each one a piece of the mosaic that makes you whole. Look again at your loneliness, not as emptiness of isolation, but as quiet space where your soul can speak, where you can meet yourself without distraction or pretense. Look again at your fears. See them as shadows cast by your own light, proof that you're stepping out of the dark, proof that you are alive and pushing boundaries. Look again. When you change the way you look at pain, it becomes a teacher, not a tormentor. When you change the way you look at loss, it becomes a space for gratitude, a reminder of what was, what is, and what might still be. When you change the way you look at yourself, the mirror stops reflecting what you think you are and starts revealing what you could become. It's not magic. It's not a trick. It's the simple, profound power of choice. The choice to see with eyes wide open, the choice to rewrite your story by shifting your perspective. Because when you change the way you look at things, you start to see beyond the surface. You see the beauty in brokenness, the light in darkness, the strength in vulnerability, the future in the present moment. And when that happens, the things you are looking at change, not because the world changed overnight, but because you did. So today, listen. The next time life feels heavy, the time your heart feels closed and your vision feels clouded, stop. Look at your story through the eyes of compassion. Look at your struggle through the lens of growth. Look at your shadow not as threat, but as a companion walking with you through every darkened light, because your story is not fixed. Your path is not set in stone. Your power lies in the way you look at the journey. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you are looking at, they begin to change. And in that way, in that change, you find a new you, stronger, wiser, freer. You find hope where there was despair. You find purpose where there was pain. You find light where there was shadow. And that, my friend, is the beginning of everything. So change the way you look at things, and the things you look at begin to change.